this afternoon. President Tinubu promises to tackle poverty, complete Eleme axis of East-West Road. INEC police to begin deployment for November elections. Labour Party tackles Nobel laureate Wole Soyinka over comments on party. Family of kidnapped Port Harcourt-based poet appeal for his safe release. Unilag management reduces school fees, hostel fees. On the foreign scene, Kenyans cry out as fuel prices reach record high. I am Constance Mega. President Bola Tinubu says his administration will reconstruct the Eleme axis of the East-West Road. President Tinubu was responding to remarks by the Rivers State Governor, Siminalayi Fubara, who led a 62-man delegation on a courtesy visit to the president at the Aso Rock Villa, Abuja, where the president said Rivers State and Nigeria should not be associated with poverty, insecurity, or underdevelopment. He also assured that Rivers State will always have direct access to him in their joint march towards sustainable development.
Rivers is the nerve center of our economic activity. Housing to our refinery, housing to our several oil blocks, housing to our pipeline activities for the sustenance of the economic activities of this nation. They are extremely important in the scheme of things for all of us. You have shown commitment, resiliency, and patriotism to promote unity and oneness in the country.
Well, President Tinubu said part of the economic blueprint of his administration is to revamp the Port Harcourt refinery, amongst others.
This is the only country that is so endowed, so blessed, that is still scratching the surface to grow. All I can do is pledge to work hard and pray to God to put me on the right path, not to disappoint any of you. As we promote the efforts to build a better Nigeria, a better country, the kind of example you show and commitment you have given is encouraging to do a lot better for the country.
While speaking to journalists after the closed-door meeting, a senior advocate of Nigeria and former president of the Nigerian Bar Association, OCJ Okocha, said the East-West Road is strategic to the Port Harcourt refinery, which the current administration has promised to reactivate. He also said the Rivers State stakeholders are also in the villa to commend President Tinubu for appointing sons and daughters of the state into his cabinet and other positions.
The Minister of the FCT, Ajurin Gelale, President spokesman, and members of the Niger Delta Development Commission Board and the Southeast Development Commission Board. So we are grateful to the President and also have come to assure him of our total loyalty and support. The only issue we raised in our speech was the state of the East-West Road leading to the refinery. And we did mention that that would enhance the movement of petroleum products when the refinery when Port Harcourt comes on.
Our correspondent reports that the FCT Minister, Nyesom Wike, also attended the meeting held at the presidential villa. In another development, the Labour Party has faulted Nobel laureate Wole Soyinka's comment, accusing the party of attempting to deceive Nigerians into believing that its presidential candidate, Peter Obi, won the February 25th election. Well, recall that on Wednesday, Professor Soyinka reportedly said the Labour Party knew that Mr. Obi came third in the keenly contested poll, but kept playing, forcing a lie on Nigerians, especially the youthful population. But in a statement, the Labour Party's National Publicity Secretary, Obiora Ifo, accused the Nobel laureate of showing dual character. He said Professor Soyinka's statement was not expected of someone who is highly known to be a detribalized statesman. The Acting Inspector General of Police, Olukayode Egbetokun, has assured residents of Bayelsa, Imo and Kogi states that the police is prepared and has deployed security personnel for the forthcoming November 11th polls. The IGP gave the assurance during a media briefing in Abuja. He called on electorate to play by the rules of elections and shun any form of violence. Also, a report by the Punch newspaper says about 40,000 ad hoc staff are expected to be deployed by INEC for the November 11th governorship elections in Imo, Bayelsa, and Kogi states. Moving on, the Rivers State Police Command is asking victims of police extortions to report to police stations or the state police headquarters. Spokesperson of the command, Grace Iringekoko, said this following a viral video of a content creator who alleged that he was arrested in a taxi by armed men in uniform along the Rumuokuta axis. Well, SP Grace Iringekoko urged the victim to visit the command to identify the policemen.
We shame our own when it comes to corruption. That you should come out so that we can identify those officers so that they will not continue that kind of act. That's what I'm appealing to him. Viewing him on his inbox. That you should come out. Interest is being protected. He should not be there. He reported the particular station. But we cannot identify the officers that protected that act. I'm appealing to him. And I can stand out. His interest is protected. If he's not coming up, I feel it's a concept he's trying to create.
Earlier, the victim in the viral video narrated how the incident happened.
Wearing, I think it was ash and blue uniform, and they had, of course, their rifles and all. This was around Rumuokuta, and the policemen came down after intercepting us and told me to come down from the vehicle. The intensity of the way they dropped me from that vehicle felt like I was, a drug baron. And I came down and they put me at the back seat. They came into the vehicle, one at the back, one at the front, and told us to follow the...
Well, he alleged that he paid 50,000 naira to bail himself after spending several hours at the Intelligence and Surveillance Center at Obunabali.
We got into the station. They told me to take off my jewelries, take off my watch. I gave them my phone. I didn't even realize that there were a lot of boys inside that pickup van. Took us somewhere and sat us on the floor. From there straight, they moved us into a cell. We spent almost 5 hours inside that cell. I wrote a statement. They searched my phone, my emails, my WhatsApp, my accounts. They checked everything. Following morning, police officers told me that I have to pay 150,000. Ended up going to withdraw 50,000 naira and paying them cash because they refused to collect transfer so that it would not be traceable.
Well, as you may know, the police have warned that police officers are not authorized to search people's phones without a warrant. The family and friends of a Port Harcourt-based poet, Kennedy Adele, are seeking his urgent and safe release after he was kidnapped on his way back to Port Harcourt from Abuja on Monday. His wife, Faith Adele, says her husband was supposed to return home on Monday, but he and other passengers were kidnapped. She tells our correspondent that the kidnappers contacted her.
He was kidnapped on Monday, being 11th of September. The kidnappers reached out to me on Tuesday around 10 a.m. in the morning, demanding a ransom of 20 million naira. And they gave me till today, but I hope God will see us through this tough time.
In the meantime, friends and colleagues of Mr. Oruz Kennedy have started an online fundraising campaign to gather the necessary funds for his ransom. While reacting to this, the spokesperson of the Rivers State Police Command, SP Grace Iringekoko, says the police have not been officially informed of the incident.
Of that, if there is any incident or so, she's the family. I'm appealing to them to go to the nearest police station so that we can have all the facts and figures, so that we can also verify the facts and also go into the investigation to ascertain what must have caused the adoption of that. Because if they don't come to the police, we are not magicians. We know that such act has been committed. I'm really sorry for what must have happened, but I'm appealing that they should come and report to the nearest police station or to the state headquarters at Moscow Road.
Still to come, third mainland bridge in Lagos State to be shut for repairs. Stay tuned. has announced the reduction of its fees after meeting representatives of the National Association of Nigerian Students (NANS) on Thursday. Recall that students of the institution have been protesting since last week over the new fee regime. The obligatory fees for returning undergraduate students was reviewed from 100,750 naira to 80,750 naira for courses without lab or studio, 140,250 naira to 120,250 naira for courses with lab and studio, and from 190,250 naira to 170,250 naira for medical and pharmacy students and students in health professions. And the Lagos State government today says repair works will be carried out by its Public Works Corporation and the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing on failed sections of the ever-busy Third Mainland Bridge. The State Ministry of Transportation, in a statement, explained that the repairs will go on for 2 consecutive Sundays, 17th September and 24th September, between 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. on both days. In business, the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, says prices of food items such as beef, tomatoes, beans, and yams witnessed increases in July. It made this known in its Selected Food Prices Watch report for July 2023, issued in Abuja today. The report said the average price of a kilogram of boneless beef increased by over 30% from 2,118 naira 84 kobo recorded in July 2022 to 2,758 naira 13 kobo in July of 2023. It also said the South, South and Southeast recorded the highest average price of 1 kilogram of tomato at 917 naira 63 kobo and 735 naira 96 kobo, while the lowest price was recorded in the Northeast at 353 naira 37 kobo. And in entertainment, spokesperson of the Lagos State Police Command, Ben Hundeyi, has waded into the death of late singer Mohbad. Speaking during a live video with media personality Daddy Freeze, SP Hundeyi said the police are investigating the cause of Mohbad's death and will also exhume his corpse if the need arises. Well, as you may know, different reasons have been given as to the cause of the singer's death, but he was swiftly buried on Wednesday. In sports, the immediate past head of Spain's Football Federation, Luis Rubiales, appeared in a Madrid court today to answer a criminal complaint over kissing Spanish player Jenny Hermoso.
And now, we bring you news from around the world.
The highest fuel prices in recent memory have been announced by Kenya's regulator, to the fury of many in the country. Overnight, the cost of petrol rose to about 212 shillings per litre in the capital, Nairobi, with the prices of different types of fuel rising by about 9% to 20%. The move comes despite countrywide protests in recent months against high living costs and the government's economic policies, where President Ruto removed fuel subsidies when he came into office last September. Well, that's the news this afternoon. But before we go, let's take a look at the highlights. On the news this afternoon, you heard that the President, Bulletin, has promised to tackle poverty and complete the Eleme axis of the East-West Road. INEC and the police will begin deployment of personnel for November elections. The Labour Party has tackled Nobel laureate Wole Soyinka over his comments on the party, and the family of a kidnapped Port Harcourt-based poet is appealing for his safe release. The Unilag management has reduced school and hostel fees. On the foreign scene, you heard that Kenyans have cried out as fuel prices reached a record high. The news was edited by Martha Okerenkem. Sunny weather in Port Harcourt this afternoon. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808 721 7215. Remember, peace is the path. Good afternoon.